Good day and welcome back to the Student StarCraft AI Tournament 2016 Finals. We have arrived at this point at the semi-finals, which we will be broadcasting today. First of all, we've got a TVT of Leiterbot and Ironbot. Next game up will be Ximp versus none other than Crazio beating TSEMU in the round of 8. So without further ado, let me switch back to StarCraft Brood War, the most beautiful game in the world, and let's get right into the action. As the Orange Terran, we have got Ironbot, and Ironbot is a project of Igor Dimitrievich, and Igor is a coder from France, working very hard and is very aggressive. And no, pardon me for speeding it up so much, we see 3 SCVs scouting the map, all 3 starting positions simultaneously, and only 3 more mining at the back of the base. So the first one is going after this SCV, constructing a supply depot, attacking it, and by the looks of it, oh yes, there we go, being repaired, and Leiterbot's SCV is being driven off. Now the 2 other SCVs are coming to help, and back at Leiterbot's base, it's hard to see what will be the follow-up. Will it be a barracks? Looking at the minerals, it won't be. I think it's just going to be SCV pressure. But supply-wise, Ironbot is in the lead with now 10 SCVs, but the first SCV of Leiterbots. Oh, and just before it dies, it moves back, and does it get repaired? No, it doesn't, and it's just a big melee with SCVs fighting. Leiterbot bringing on the pressure, but I think that with Ironbot's SCV micro, no, Leiterbot's SCVs don't stand a chance, and one was back in the rear helping out with nothing. Meanwhile, Ironbot macroing up, building more SCVs, and Leiterbot also producing SCVs, but is now supply blocked, so I think that unless Leiterbot scores a couple of SCV kills, which it might do because Ironbot is not repairing at the moment, and oh, Leiterbot is repairing here, so I think that Ironbot will be in a bit of a spot unless it starts building a barracks and gets some stuff done, because Leiterbot is only trying to do it of 10 supply. So if we look at the supplies, we can now get a pretty good idea of what it's going to be like, and this SCV with 15 HP moves out of there. Leiterbot now, oh, just as it's about to lose another worker, it moves out. Ironbot meanwhile at 14 supply, lots of SCVs getting damaged though, and Leiterbot repairing the SCVs at home. One of SCVs of Irons is dying, and Leiterbot is just being relentless with all these SCVs, so this is a very interesting matchup. Back at home, Leiterbot building nothing, just mining with 3 SCVs, and Ironbot repairing as well. Ironbot's got the superior SCV count, now at 13 supply again, so I think he's stabilizing, and every time he is stabilizing and the barracks is nearing completion, oh, and will that be another SCV going down? I don't think so, because Ironbot is repairing as well, and Leiterbot's SCVs are in a bit of a spot, and only 1 SCV, oh no, more are repairing at the moment, and all of Ironbot's SCVs are getting pretty low, so that's going to be a problem. Now at 14 supply, soon to be 15 I think, because another one will start the moment that is done, and the barracks is nearing completion, so as soon, oh, and that's a depot, so Leiterbot now building more SCVs, and I think this is a race against the clock for Leiterbot, because, oh, there goes an SCV, and all of Ironbot's SCVs are so pretty low, they can only run. Leiterbot with the determined, oh, and now another SCV, down, down, down. Leiterbot is losing. No, Ironbot is losing SCVs, so many SCVs getting lost, and now Leiterbot is in a dominating position because he's doubling the supply of Ironbots, and the barracks is, even if it's getting up, there are so many SCVs of Leiterbots in the base of Iron that it's not going to be fun anymore. So Ironbot now with only 1 SCV and is being trailed by a bunch of angry Leiterbot SCVs. Leiterbot meanwhile continuing to build SCVs, and I think this is going to be it. This is just one huge game of tag, pardon me for speeding it up. And while this is going on, let me tell you what's actually happening. This is the Student StarCraft AI Tournament 2016 Finals. 45 bots have duked it out so far. Oh, and it lives with only, oh, and now it dies. So now all the SCVs go to town on the command center. This is the Student StarCraft AI Tournament 2016 Finals. These are AIs, these are bots fighting over who is going to be the best AI in StarCraft Brood War, as far as our tournament is concerned, of course. And Ironbot takes off. Leiterbot, meanwhile, is just building another depot and appears to be bent on producing more SCVs. It's a bit of a problem, really, because I am duty bound to let the game play out. There is a timer officially that after... Oh, this is not good. After 90 minutes have been played out, or 5 minutes without a kill, the game will be decided on points. Although I think that it's... Oh, Leiterbot's got a follow-up for that. The SCVs are no longer doing anything, and now we are going to see some raids with which it will win the game, probably. Oh, there we go, and look at them go, scouting pattern set up. Only SCVs and then raids, so pretty pro, pretty well done. And it will only be a matter of time before the raids find the command center. Will this one find it? No, it just turns around in the nick of time. Going to speed it up just a little bit because this can be quite boring. And now they find the command center. So the command center is being attacked. Oh, and these buildings here as well. So that's going to be GG in the near future. Now with 10 SCVs. And Leiterbot takes the first game of Iron. GG. And should be told that this is going to be a best of 3, so first one to win 2 games is going to win. Michael, who sent me the replays, has named them in such a way that I cannot know. Oh, here we go again, not again. So Ironbot again in a big quandary because Leiterbot is going for, I think, the same SCV scouting rushing build. And Iron opening up depot first, so that's a bit of a problem because these bots are pretty good, but once they're set on a certain track they won't really deviate from it. And Leiterbot is going to go to town on this again, but what went wrong, I don't know. Leiterbot did not really break through, and now we've got a barracks up. And supply-wise, Ironbot is almost doubling Leiterbot, so what went wrong with this game? I really cannot say. But Iron's fighting with the SCVs, and look how many are running around with gas, and Iron has got the money for Marines, but I think he wants to build a factory. Now he's got the money, so will an SCV start building a factory? Yes, it will be a factory, but Leiterbot is still out there with the SCVs, no depot yet, so only 10. And Ironbot has got the supply lead for the moment. Leiterbot is mulling around like a madman, and as soon as this factory finishes, I think Leiterbot is going to be in a hell of a spot. Meanwhile, because no Marines are being built, obviously Ironbot is not that clever yet that can actually think, well, let's build a couple of Marines to help fend off this attack. And there are no minerals for vultures as of yet because there are so many SCVs in the mineral line of Irons. That is unfortunate, to say the least. And Leiterbot is going after all these SCVs. That's a big problem. If you were to cancel this this factory, you would have so much money to build vultures, but as all the SCVs of Irons are being chased out of the game and no vultures are being built, this is a small fly in the ointment for Ironbot, and I think it's going to cost him the game because he's now only got 3 SCVs. Still, you could cancel the factory and build some vultures, but for the moment this is one of the last 3 SCVs. Where are the others? I don't really know. And Leiterbot is going to yep, that's it. No more units for Ironbot. Leiterbot now again with the SCV rush. Did it again, and the SCVs now go to town on the base. Oh, and now finally the command center gets killed, but Iron only has got money for 2 vultures, so it's now a base trade basically because there are no more minerals for Ironbot, but the vultures are out, and there is nothing left here in the base of Leiterbot, so this is going to be interesting. Killing that the second factory enabled Iron to build 2 vultures with the money it got from there, and now we've got 2 vultures on the warpath and only SCVs, 6 of them, to stop them. Now Iron is in leaps and bounds trying to figure out his way to the Terran base, which is now found. First try, very good. And I don't think Leiterbot will survive this, and it's a bit of a schadenfreude thing, but after SCV rushing and then inadvertently killing the second factory, thus giving your enemy the money it needs to equalize, that's pretty good. So now we've got these SCVs and no more SCVs, no more money for Leiterbot. So these vultures now will have a field day of their own in a small bit of retribution for last game. And it's not really what you would like to see in a TVT. It's not a long drawn-out macro game. As you can see here, nothing's happening anymore, but by now the vultures will have chewed through that command center, and I think it's going to be over relatively quickly. Bang goes the command center, and now we've got a couple of vultures with 17 and 10 kills respectively going to town on these supply depots. And in the best of 3 of the first semi-finals match, I think Iron is about to equalize, and will it? And GG, it's 1-1. The game is afoot again. So, 2 rather ridiculous games in a row, but I'm not going to lie and say, well, let's hop into the third game. And I think, oh, it's a rather small map, and again, the 3 SCVs of Leiterbots go out for a scout. Will Iron this time start with a slightly more aggressive build, or start with a depot into barracks, into no units, into a factory, and then no money for vultures? Here we go, first SCV of Leiterbots gets in, only gets out with 10 HP, you could have done something with that. And pardon me for speeding it up so much, but this is going to be all about the deciding stage, which we have not yet reached. Again, Ironbot with the supply lead, but how long is it going to last? Because, as you can see, the SCVs of Ironbots do not get repaired, although the SCV numbers are superior. And then they start to run away, and Leiterbots SCVs can do so much more damage. Meanwhile, they'll get repaired in the back, and of course, as this barracks is finishing, I don't think we'll see any Marines from it. So, yeah, there we go. Leiterbot now in the advantage and going to kill all the SCVs of Ironbots. This time, the factory is nowhere near done, and Leiterbot appears to be set for a place in the finals. Meanwhile, we've got an SCV of Iron scouting out here, but nothing happening, or nothing much really. And we've got a wild goose chase of SCVs chasing an Ironbot SCV with only 8 HP left. Oh, and that was that. So now the SCVs are going to cut up the base again. I will have to let it play out once more and wait for Leiterbot to take control of the game, build a barracks, harvest gas, build a couple of wraiths, and do it all again. Now, here's the barracks, there is the command center, and here comes the first wraith. So that is the main base found, and at the same time, oh, slow down boy, I need to have a finishing shot. At the same time, the command center was gunned down. Now 2 wraiths going to 3 wraiths going to town. This all little barracks, and that was the end of Ironbot. The aggression was too late. Leiterbot, with a very unusual SCV rush, takes the game, moves into the grand finals. Congratulations, Leiterbot. That was a bit of a lot of cheese, so let's hop into the next game and hope that will be better from a viewer's point of view, because we have got to have a nice game, I'd say. Not to say that an SCV rush isn't particularly clever, and it demonstrates how long a way we still have to go with AIs playing Brood War, because after the second time I saw that coming, and after the first time I have thought as a human player, well, let's not have any of that again and build some Marines, start with a barracks first and perhaps die to an eco build or something, but not let that SCV rush happen twice in a row. So, of course, we saw Tim in the round of 8, beating opponents, and same thing in the round of 16 with falling in and then carriers. That said, I think that it's safe to say that it's just going to be one play and then see what's going to happen. At the other end of the map, you've got Crao, and Crao started out about the same time Ximp did, and Ximp is a bot by Thomas Weider, Crao is the stalwart Terran by the Bulgarian Krasimir Krastev. They're from the same era, from around 2012-2013, and they have been with the scene for ages, have been very active. But I think in the last 2 years, Crao has been updating more regularly, or updating at all. So I wouldn't wonder if Crao has got some pretty good detection, especially if as the carriers take a long time to build. Nevertheless, we've got the first 2 Stargates out, and the pylon coming up, more cannons being built, meanwhile gas is being harvested by Thomas Leiter. At Crasio's end of things, we've got the eBay going for a scout, turrets being built, and an academy as well. So I think that after the academy is done, we're going to see some comsats, and when the comsats are done, he will scan the carriers, probably find them. Oh, there goes the scan, and now Crao should know what will be going down. And if we look at the base of Crao, he's got the armory nearly done, got a couple of units and some turrets in the base, some turrets in the natural, bunker in the natural, so for the moment he's pretty safe. Big question will be, yeah, there we go, skipping any kind of siege tank technology after, well, not siege tank, but Karen boosters and pressing G, so 3 Goliaths at once. Now we've got a 2-base Terran versus a 2-base Protoss, and the Protoss has all its gateway units in, that's a bit of a pity. Carriers coming up, and in the end I think we'll come down to micro, because although there are quite some vultures out yet, I don't think that Crao has got the numbers to, or will he push out? I don't know. Looks like this was going to be a small advanced guard. Meanwhile, depot being built and the command center being built, and oh, that's not so much, so many Goliaths. We've got 9 Goliaths at the moment, and the first carriers are out. So now the carriers detect the vulture attacking the third of the Simps, and the first carriers are out, but the Goliaths are there as well, and we've got 9 of them with only 3 carriers, and the siege tank will range down these cannons. But we've got 3 carriers, 4 soon to be 4, but the Goliath numbers are just too big and they can take down all the interceptors, because I don't think that, or if the upgrade for more interceptors is done, I don't think Sim has got the money, or has got the money, but hasn't got the production capability to build more interceptors, and these four carriers don't do anything but lose interceptors, so that's a bit of a problem. Meanwhile, Crasio's third base is up, more depots coming, more factories just building all over the map, and +1 weapons will be finished momentarily, and that will be a huge thorn in the side of the Sim, because although the third is up now and there are only a handful of Goliaths here, they're very well positioned, they've got the +1 upgrades, and the siege tanks are ranging down these cannons. That said, we've got 4 carriers here, 2 there, more are being built. Sim has got money for interceptors, so these Goliaths are in a bit of a spot, because all the damage done, there is only 1 SCV to repair, and I think this one will be killed soon-ish. No, it looks like all the interceptors are out now, and it dies, finally dies. More Goliaths arrive at the scene, more are being walked in slowly across the map. It's not that big a map, so I think that Xim is going to be a little bit of a problem, because the carriers are not massing up the interceptors as they should, and the Goliath numbers are increasing more than they are being cut down by Xim. That said, if the Goliaths here die, this push will have been completely killed, and in that case, look at that, the interceptor numbers are increasing, and the Goliaths are, well, are they getting damaged? It looks like it. It looks like the Goliaths are getting damaged, and now they're also in range of these goons. So now you've got 4 carriers here and 4 there, lots of interceptors being produced. Goliath numbers are going down, and the Nexus is not being engaged. Oh, 1 carrier, 2 carriers from the bottom group have been destroyed, and as you can see, it's only Goliaths which are being walked into the Protoss base, and the siege tanks are now ranging that Nexus. So it looks like Crao, with a bold and daring push with lots of losses to these Goliaths, is about to make it work, and look at how many Goliaths are being moved into the combat area, it's just going to be brutal. And of course, more upgrades are coming in, so these Goliaths are going to be much more effective. The natural dies. The third is unhindered as yet, but Sim does not have the money anymore to make a lot of probes. So these carriers, although there are 6, there are just too many Goliaths which are going to town on them, and I think this is about to be it. And that is, well, it's a small map, but Crazio now going for the kill. Vulture here shutting down third, starting with the Nexus, not really having anything to do with the gas mining pros, but as you can see, gas at this moment is not a problem Sim has. Now 1-1 finishes. Terran tanks are full tanks, a lot of Goliaths, but these carriers cannot touch these tanks in such numbers. Now more vultures arriving at the third of Sim, and this is about to be over. And look at all these mines being laid in a perfectly weird line towards the Protoss base. And that is going to be the 1-0 for Crazio unless some miracle happens, and I don't think it will. Third is most officially down, and that was the main base. That was the third. Last carriers die. GG, well played Thomas Weider. But despite that, Crazio takes the lead 1-0. Daring push, and I hope we are going to see another game which will have some more substance to it. So, without further ado, and skipping up the first bit because we've also got the third and fourth place match, Sim will be doing his carrier build once more, and Crazio, the question is what it's going to do. This time the map is a little bit smaller, so if the push is in time it will have a greater effect. If the push is too slow, the carriers will be out in force, and perhaps it will be more difficult for Crazio to take a third. That said, that trick never keeps you from laughing, because you can just run in a line and there is no unit actually to say, well, let's cut off the probe, or let's lay an ambush, just going to take it. And this probe now is going to town on the SUVs, on the gas. That's pretty smart, because Terran of course is very gas heavy if it's going to do a mech build. But Crazio now with two more Marines, and that's really the difference between bots who've been with the scene for quite a while and bots who haven't. Last semi-finals match we saw Iron fall to Leiter bot. Crazio can see the difference between aggression and non-aggression. So last game we saw only 2 Marines, this time 2 extra were needed to fend off the probe. And you've got 4 Marines in a bunker, so it's only 100 minerals, but you don't lose any SCVs in the process. Now, Sim, big surprise, going for StarCAITs and a lot of probes, a couple of gateway units. Crazio, all about the SCVs. Starting with eBay, very cautious. Crazio always does that. Just a couple of turrets for detection, for any DT shenanigans or whatsoever. Perhaps a scout rush, no, not a scout rush, only TSCMU does that. But now going for the factory, and there should be an academy too. As soon as the academy is done, there will be a comsat, I think. Comsat here, and it's really just waiting for the first scan to go off over Sim to, yeah, there it goes. So if you see this, a fleet beacon of 2 bases, you don't really see this blinking. I don't actually know if bots can see this blinking, but Crazio all at once slapping down more turrets just to be safe. You could do this with Goliath, and here we go with the Goliath range. So that's it. Now with a starport as well, I don't know what that's for. There we go, we see the push once more, and now we've already got 10 Goliaths, but in range of the cannons. But I think that this time there are just 2. There is a nice cliff for Sim to have the good position, but Sim needs to kill Goliaths, and pretty fast. There are 8 now, and more on the way, so perhaps if you saved up a couple of interceptors and kill a couple of Goliaths, you could do something, but it's going to be very, very hard, and the next wave of carriers will take a while. So perhaps save up some interceptors, because now it's just losing too many interceptors without really being able to kill Goliaths. And as you can see, the next Goliath is only here, stuck behind the tank as it is. So perhaps how many Goliaths have we got here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish and 4 carriers. You could do this, but you need to save up more, much more on the interceptor count to be able to do that, and that's a big pity. That's a big pity. And as you can see, no carriers are being killed. Meanwhile, the Terran army has invaded the natural. These carriers are so strong, but they don't have the patience to save up a handful of interceptors. Together with these ones, perhaps deal a blow to the Goliaths, take out 2, 3, 4, then the damage will get low, and you can take out the tanks. Now the other carriers are getting into the fight as well, but they're going after the buildings. That's a capital mistake because the Goliath numbers as of yet are so very low. These two are being chased back, and these 4 carriers are doing their best against these Goliaths here, and it's now one big muddle. Let's slow it down because there is a chance that Xim might come back in this. This carrier is getting very, very low. This Goliath is down, so by the skin of its teeth. Oh, well, this carrier is still alive as well. I think that Xim is going to hold this fight. Meanwhile, Crao has not got a 3rd base yet, so the production is severely limited. That said, the natural of Xim looks like this, and that is not good. That's not good at all. But the interceptor numbers are now at a decent level, and I think that the Goliath threat of this army has been subdued. Completely subdued, and although the Goliaths have a little bit of armor and +1 weapons, I think we've got 4 carriers here, 4 there, and now these carriers are sufficient in number to... oh, there comes another. That's brilliant. I think the carriers have it for now. Of course, there are still Goliaths streaming in, and is Crao going for a 3rd base somewhere? No, the main is getting low. That will also mean that Xim minerals are getting low, but the Goliath numbers are only 6, and that's all over the map. So now we've got 4 carriers here chasing back this mech army. Of course, this mech army is pretty tough, and there is an SUV to repair. But I think that Crao is going to be in a bit of a quandary here. Now Xim hasn't got the money for more, not got the money for an expansion, so it needs to do damage now with this group of carriers, but the carriers are not doing anything. They don't dare engage the main, and now it will only be a matter of time because Crao's got the income now. 12 Goliaths already, and Xim has just been sitting back too much, not killing off any carriers, Goliaths at all. Oh, 2 more there. It's pretty well done. And now I've got to keep tabs on 2 groups of carriers, but what the hell are you doing here, man? It's not really, there's nothing there, there are only mines, and even those you're not killing at the moment. So this group of carriers in the middle of the map is trying to hold its own, but there are Goliaths to the left of them, to the right of them, cannon Goliaths in front of them, Polygon Thunder, stall that with cannon boosted rockets. These carriers are having to fight a very good fight, and only now these carriers are going to go back into the game, where they will hit upon the main base here, and it's only to be hoped that these carriers, oh, 1 extra is coming into the fight as well. Oh, and this tank has got a very good position. So these 4 carriers, 4 or 5 carriers need to buy some time to allow these 4 carriers in the rear to set up shop in the Terran main. As soon as that happens, I think it's going to be very hard for Crao to defend at 2 places, because it's very hard to enforce your presence on the map. Oh, but the carrier numbers are going down, and the Goliaths are gaining in strength now with +1/+1. But Crao will have to make something work, because there are now carriers at the natural, which means all the Goliaths are locked in. Yeah, and it's a pity that you haven't got anything here, but there are also carriers now in the main. And as long as Xim has got a bit of money, and he has got quite a bit of money, he's got 1,000 units, you can build a lot of interceptors for that, like 40. And these 4 carriers here are all still alive, so although a lot of interceptors are dying, Xim is still doing money and doing damage here at the front. And the main looks like this. The 4 carriers have broken through, and Crao has not been able to secure a 3rd. Meanwhile, oh, the natural's being taken by Xim. That's pretty pro, but I don't think it's really safe at the moment. But the carriers are there, and the Goliath numbers, as I said, there were 6, then 12, now only 11 left. and as soon as these armories go down, the carriers are done for. Because, no, the Goliaths are done for, I mean, because the carriers will have free reign and no more Goliaths can be built. That said, you shouldn't be losing health or hit points on these carriers here, shouldn't do it, move them out of the way and let these boys do their job, because here goes the armory, and as soon as the armory is down, we've got 1, 2, 3, there used to be 4, okay, so 1 got shot down perhaps. We've got 6 carriers and no more Goliaths, so every Goliath that dies is 1 less, and only turrets are not going to hold these carriers forever. Now the natural of Ximp is down, no more money being mined, and Ximp is out of money, so this is a very interesting situation. We have got a count on the interceptors, no we haven't. So has, I dare say, only 1 interceptor here, and now it dies, and this one hasn't got any interceptors at all. I think that Ximp could be long distance mining, but it isn't. And it's a big problem because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think all the Goliaths are here, so now we've got these carriers here, and they kill the last Goliath, I think. And now the turret will not be long for this world. Now there is a bunker which will be engaged momentarily, and I think although it's getting repaired now, the SCVs are dying as well. I don't think Crazio at this moment, although he's got the money, rebuilding turrets, rebuilding the armory, and the thing is, the question is, will these carriers do enough damage in time to seal the game, because Ximp is not going to long distance mine, it looks like. And now the SCVs preparing the bunker die. 1 Goliath is returning, but they shouldn't trickle in like that. They should arrive in force. And will this bunker die? That will be a huge asset to Crazio. SCV numbers of Crazio are getting seriously depleted, but the oh dear, although the armory will be up soon, the natural looks like this. The SCVs are down, and although it's losing 6, 7, and 8 interceptors, no interceptors dead as of yet. The Marines die, and by now another Goliath dies. The Goliaths have all come back, but the carriers are just too strong. They are too strong, and I don't think a single interceptor has died of these 3 carriers. Now the Goliaths are coming back, but the carriers are too strong, and they are going to do damage to these Goliaths. Oh, a matrix on this Goliath, that's pretty pro, allowing it to take some shots at the hull of this carrier, doing some structural damage. In the end though, the Goliath dies, and we've now got 5 Goliaths. Have we got money? Is there money left for Goliaths? I don't know. I really do not know if there is money for Goliaths, and so Ximp is hanging on by a nose-threaded hair's thread thingy to this game, fighting for dear life. The carriers are so strong, still no interceptors lost, and how many? We've only got how many have we got? We've got 2 Goliaths left, and I think that the last one or the last 2 are being engaged, and they die. And the last Goliath dies, so Ximp is doing this on 3 carriers. Of course, there is nothing left here, there is no long distance mining going on. Crazio has taken a 3rd, so perhaps there will be more Goliaths, but it will be critical to get more Goliaths up and not waste money on SCVs, because these carriers are going to do huge amounts of damage. Really impressive. 29, 21, and this one's got 29 and 30 kills, so although you need some time to kill off a mech army and some turrets, there goes your turret. So now going for the natural CC, these 3 carriers are really saving Ximp's bacon at the moment. Are we going to see more carriers? I don't think so. Oh, this one's still here, but it hasn't got any interceptors left, so it's all down to these 3 carriers, and a 1/3 of Crazio is now up. There is still a sizable mech army with 22 vultures, 4 siege tanks, and 2 vessels. So it's really going to be all about the production here, and I think that these 3 carriers can take down the base. Now going after the command center, and as there is no SCV repairing it, I think that these carriers will do this. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit, because it's going to be quite a long sit as it is. Now the last turret, and this is... Oh, there was a Goliath, but it dies. Now... Oh dear, Crazio, what are you going to do? We've got 1 turret, we've got a lot of SCVs, and we've got a last command center. Saturation is pretty good. But can Crazio get anything done before? Is going to rebuild here, is going to rebuild here with the armory, with the barracks, and I think that as all the factories here are dead and these carriers will take some time to reproduce or reduce the base to rubbish, Crazio has still got a chance because there is stuff out here as well. But there is no production, there is no factory, and where is Crazio? Oh, Crazio is going to rebuild in a natural. That's not a good place because as soon as these carriers are done here, taking the machine shop, that's not a good choice. One Goliath coming up should rejoin the army. Or is it going to attack? No, it's going. Crazio is going to save up. So one Goliath already done. Will another one be built? I don't know. I really cannot see. But the carriers are gnawing their way through the base and taking their sweet time though, being very methodical. Crazio, what are you doing? Building depots? You don't, do you? Oh, he does. He's supply block. That's such a pity, going for the armor upgrade. And now we've only got 2 Goliaths, now 3. But the carriers have nearly. Oh, they're going to kill the ops. Now turret was okay, but it's not enough. You should fight with the bunker, with the Goliath, with the turrets all in one place. And I don't think. Oh, another, and the Goliath dies. Oh, that's a really pity. Crazio should relocate to here and then build a nice fleet of Goliaths. Now going for a marine for the bunker, but the bunker is down and the Goliath numbers are down as well because there are only 4 Goliaths left, and that will be 1 less in the very near future. Command center, natural command center. Oh, but the interceptor numbers are dwindling slightly, ever so slightly, but I don't think it will be enough in the long run. You got to get an EMP off, build another base, do something, build a Wraith perhaps, because that is your last factory with your last Goliath in it. And Sim with the 3 carriers is doing so much now with the bunker, but there are no marines. There are no marines at all. You can repair a bunker, but if there are no marines, it's not going to work. That was the factory. That is going to be the depot. And these carriers so slowly and methodically are going to take down the entire. Is there only 1 left? No, they can't. No, there are more. 53, 52, 53. There are 2 carriers stacked for some reason. Are very closely stacked. Now Crazio with 2 Goliaths and the turret. Oh, is he killing interceptors? Is he killing interceptors or is he just doing damage? And will they get replenished? Now with the Matrix and the turret fighting as well. We've got 2 carriers left. This one. Oh, the carrier dies! Last carrier, and the last carrier dies! The last carrier dies, and Crazio has done it. Come back from an impossible position and being 1 game up. I think now he will have his sweet leisure to build back up because the 3rd keep is into the game. Now with the turrets, turreting everything down. And as you can see, Sim has nothing left. There is nothing long distance mining. Could have taken a base. But now Crazio is back in force, and here goes your Protoss base. Crazio with the tenacity of a stone, of a liana, of a walrus, a fat walrus on a beach. Withers the storm, withers all the carriers, withers them down, and then takes the Protoss base in style. Crazio moving up to the grand finals of the Student StarCraft AI Tournament 2016. That is quite a feat. Crazio, congratulations, you have earned it. You have been so diligent in your updating. You have been, well, aside from all your other duties as keeping everyone informed, and oh wow, that is so fantastic. Crazio making it into the grand finals along with Leiterbot. GG, Sim, thank you for fighting. That was a hell of a fight for an old guy like you. That is really amazing. So congratulations on fighting a good game and making it into the semi-finals of one of the biggest tournaments for brutal AIs again, even after so long. It's really an accomplishment. That said, Crazio and Leiterbot are going to take it, which means that we now have the 3rd place match. I'm going to go into it right away. It's going to be Ironbot, which is so very aggressive, got cut down short by Leiterbot's very, very clever 3 SCV scouting SCV rush. That's really, really nasty. And we are going to see another game of Xin. What a fight that last game, only bringing it down to the... It was a nail-biting game, and it couldn't, in the end, keep its carriers alive. 2 big Goliaths, 2 couple of turrets that Crazio still had, with the 3rd base eking out the slimmest victory I've ever seen in any game in Brutal AI. And to have such a game in the semi-finals is just amazing. If you've just tuned in, this is the Student StarCraft AI Tournament 2016. 45 bots started out playing games in a round-robin format, and of those, 16 moved on to the round of 16. Of those, in the first round, Leiterbot beats Team Hammer, and in the second round, Leiterbot beat Woolybot. Semifinals over Ironbot, and Ironbot to get here defeated Triple ZK-Bot 2-1 and Icebot 1-0 in the round of 16. Ximp took out B-Reaver 2-1, was a pretty good fight, and Skynet as well, so had a good run in the PvP business. Unfortunately then moved out of the winners round thingy and into the third and fourth player match, now facing Crazio. Faced Crazio demoted it to the third and fourth player match. Crazio, of course, defeated TSMU, defeated Killerbots, and TSMU defeated Killerbots, so that's pretty good. We'll return to the bracket later. Let's focus on the game, because Ironbot is very, very aggressive now, trying to do it with the Marines, and these Marines, of course, are going to have a pretty tough time versus these cannons, but Iron is doing this all on one base, and that's pretty ballsy, because Ironbot used to do so much mech play, but now is also spicing it up with a little bit of Marines, placing a light contain on these Protoss minions. Now these Protoss minions go for the first Stargate, and of course it's no surprise that this is going to be the carrier build again. Sim always does it. It is so majestic, it's so beautiful, it's glorious, and it is so very, very effective. But if you've got its number, you've got its number. And Crazio fought back for its life last game. That was really something. I don't think that Ironbot has been taking notes, because these bots don't really learn from each other and from their own games. Now natural up for Crazio, and Crazio for Ironbot. Ironbot going for the stim, so perhaps going to do some kind of a bust with tanks and bio. Natural, oh, there is a tank already. There is a tank already, and I think that the tank is going to range down the turrets, and then you won't have any money for technology. 2 tanks riding now with a little bit of bio support. As you can see, the gateway units of Ximp are very low in number. Ximp doggedly continuing to build carriers. Another fleet beacon, another Stargate, and another Stargate, and it will be a while before any carriers there, and then there will be turrets, and there will be the wire with the stim, with medics. Now, oh dear, are we going to see Goliaths as well? I don't know. More barracks coming up. I think with the turrets in the rear, I think this position is impregnable. Now the Marines enter the probe lines, and there is one carrier is building. What can you do with one carrier against this? That said, never underestimate Ximp, because he's so very good. 2 carriers on the way now. There's still a smattering of cannons and another gateway, so perhaps going to build more gateway units. But the tanks are there, the bio is there, and as the bio numbers increase, Marines and medics are very effective against interceptors and carriers in general. So this carrier will build 1 interceptor at a time and not engage, because what can you do versus this many Marines? Now the natural looks like this. Is Iron taking another base or just scouting here? Appears to be just scouting. More tanks coming, more bio coming, upgrades coming along, turrets being built, and another barracks. So yeah, I think that Iron has done a very aggressive build, just hammering down the front door. 2 carriers come out of the base to help fight. This Marine may be picked off, but there are just too many Marines, and 2 carriers alone, they can't really do anything. Perhaps with 3 carriers, we saw 3 carriers last game, took a hell of a fight to Crazio. As you can see, these 2 carriers are doing a pretty decent job of picking off Marines left and right. They should nip this protrusion of Ironbot's army in the bud before it does any more damage, but now fighting over the turrets, it's not really where you want to be at this point. And the oh dear, there I think that the upgrades for more interceptors is not done, so that's going to be a huge problem. Meanwhile the tanks are reaching the probe lines, and Ximp is under a lot of pressure. Again, a small map favouring the aggressive bot, and I don't think that Ximp will be able to bring it back this time. But again, the main bio army is still only in the natural, and there are now 3 carriers out with interceptors. They haven't got the max interceptors upgrade, but they're doing so much damage to these Marines. Then again, in the main, we've got siege tanks and we've got vultures on the loose. That's not good with SCVs for repair. And I think, oh, we've got a Valkyrie now, so these carriers are very hard pressed. Now with a 3rd base coming up for Iron, I don't think that is going to last very, very long. Now, we're going to speed it up just a little bit because, oh, the Valkyrie might actually die. Perhaps? Oh no, there is no more money. No, that's it. That's it. 3 interceptors here, 4 there, and 2 Valkyries, Goliaths, a lot of bio, and the main attack. This is not going to work. 3 carriers almost brought Brazier to his knees last game, but this time it's not going to work because the turrets keep advancing, bio will keep advancing, 1 carrier dies, and meanwhile the main is being hit meticulously so by these tanks and vultures with the Valkyrie cover. Have the Valkyries got any upgrades? No, they haven't, but still this army is pretty decent, and the turrets are marching into the base of the Protoss along with the SCVs. And meanwhile, how many Valkyries have we got? We've got 4 Valkyries, so GG. Iron taking the first game in the 3rd and 4th player match, which will bring us to potentially the last game of today, and the last game of today again will be for the 3rd and 4th player match. 4th place will be Ironbot by Igor Dimitrievich from France, and fighting for a 3rd place, which for a relatively newcomer is pretty good. It will bite him though, surely that he's been CV rushed by Leiterbot like that. But in the long run, you can't really say that Leiterbot hasn't earned it. He's been with the scene for so long, has been so clever, has been adding so much to the understanding of the game, and has been doing so much for the scene, running AI versus human tournaments and doing all kinds of good works. But he's still got to win the finals versus Crazio. Now we see the bio push coming up, and I think this is going to be a no medics, just plain bio, get in there and hurt the enemy kind of thing, or is he going to wait for the tanks? I think that he's going to wait for the tanks. Oh, and there is the first tank already. So, Xint by Thomas Weider is facing another trial and tribulation. Should build a carrier now, because if you build one now, you can probably do it. There is only 1 tank, but the big problem is with these fixed build order bots, they tend to build all their necessary buildings, so build more gateways, stargates, and build more pilots, disregarding the siege tank at the gates and another siege tank soon. Of course, the other siege tank can't really reach the front because there are so many Marines walking all over this. First carrier starting now, and there is just not a lot of money. So I think that Iron with this push has got it down, just nailed it like the first game. Bring the fight to Xint, and Xint is just a little bit too sluggish to really take games of these new generations big macro bots with multifunctional adaptive strategies, which can say, well, the enemy is going slow, so let's go for some aggressive hammer down its nose of the enemy and take the natural. So even before the first carrier comes out, the first carrier now sees the light of day, and the sight that he is now beholding is not very welcoming, because there are Marines, there are siege tanks, and by now there should be an academy somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, there is one. Am I missing it? Oh, it's here. Medics are coming up as well, and I think that in the academy Stim will be researched like the previous game. Now this 1 carrier can't really do anything. 2 tanks with complementary bio is now raging the nexus, and with clustering Marines gets into the way of this carrier. This carrier fighting a pretty good fight with 4 interceptors, but I don't think there's any money. Oh, there comes the max interceptors upgrade. But it's only going to be 2 carriers, now 3, and there is a bunch of angry Stim bio with +1 weapons upgrades, pulled by 3 tanks and a Goliath and a couple of turrets in the natural. The natural looks like this. 3rd now being taken for Iron, and Iron looks to be on his way with the Goliath range upgrade and with the Marines to take the 3rd place in this year's StarCraft AI tournament. The carriers, however, one last desperate charge, going for Where are they going for? Going for the turret, and the turret may fall. The turret that carries in such a lot of damage. The Marines are more confused. They are confused and they don't really get anything done. Sim needs one more carrier, one more carrier. 4 carriers can do a whole lot, but as it is now, the interceptors are just dying left and right. And the third base up now for Iron. I don't think these carriers can really hold on because the money is getting low from Sim. He can hold on with just a little bit longer, but now the Marines are ranging the production buildings, and the tanks are setting up shop on the edge as well. So although there are 4 carriers now, and you saw what 3 carriers can do, versus this bioarmy, it's very hard to fight. As I'll slow it down to faster speed again, these interceptors are taking such a pounding from these Marines. It's really abusive how much damage Marines can do to interceptors. Then again, interceptors can do quite a lot of damage too, but 4 here, and the Valkyrie may just die like the Leiter. It's just too much Terran stuff, and Terran is setting up shop now. It's about to range the last middle line of our Protoss giant Ximp. Meanwhile, behind all this, unhindered, building along for victory is Ironbot. Now, Ironbot, with the rallies being cut off by these 4 carriers, doesn't really matter because the Protoss base now looks like this, and these 4 carriers will never get. Look at the fight they are fighting. And now we've got oh, and look at all the damage these carriers are doing. Taking down Marine, another Marine, taking down the Valkyrie, hardly getting any damage at all. All the damage being absorbed by these interceptors, which will then turn to the carriers to regain some of their shields. But the main base of Ximp looks like this, and if your main base looks like that, you're going to have to be pretty damn quick about killing off the enemy, and it's not really working at the moment. 4th base being built by Ironbot with a couple of turrets and a lot of production here. Nothing much here, so if you were somehow be able to clean up these Marines, take down the natural, you might have a fighting chance, but your fighting chance is being severely impeded by surrounding of turrets of your production facilities. So this is the might of the carrier. If you are a fan of what you're seeing here, come visit our website. You can watch these bots play 24/7, 356 days a year. Oh, and that's the GG, that's a big pity. You can also learn how to code bots or to play against them. If you want to code bots, be sure to make carriers because they are so awesome and they have been so powerful. Sim, thank you for playing, but it has not been enough. That is the game. So now for a moment let us return to the bracket, and the bracket will say, after it's been updated of course, that Leiterbot and Crao will play the grand finals, and we have also been promised a show match between Leiterbot and Crao where will they demonstrate their biggest, baddest strategies. For now, Ximp taking 4th place, congratulations. Ironbot taking 3rd place in the major tournament, which is Student StarCraft AI tournament. Congratulations again. For all of you watching, thank you very much. Come visit our website, come support us, and hope you'll be with us with the finals. Thank you again, and goodbye.